You're watching the Monty Python weekend here on the Paramount Comedy Channel with me, Jonathan Ross. I feel like a cruise ship act. I'm here all weekend. Try the buffet. The veal is excellent. The next show is Fliegender Circus. This was one of two specials made by the Python team in Germany. The Flying Circus was just one of a number of comedy specials that have been adapted to German. There was, of course, Messerschmitt's Behaving Badly, Only Fools and Horses, and, of course, Third Reich from the Sun. So, meine Damen und Herren, hier ist Fliegender Circus. Laugh, Schweinhunds, laugh.
Yeah, I first met Eric Idle in about 1987, I think. Let me think, a funny story. Michael Palin, the nicest of the Pythons, the globe-trotting Python. I met him, I think I first met him in early '88. And I know he was very funny. Oh, Terry Jones, I remember from, obviously from the Pythons, but also from lots of other things, I'm sure. I remember meeting him when I was doing my first talk show, and he was very funny. I get them all mixed up a bit. I'm not quite sure what he did. Now, Terry Gilliam, of course, who I love not only for being on Python, but also being a film director. And I remember meeting him and going to his house. Yeah, I met him at his house.
And it was a nice house?
I can't remember. It was near where Sting lived, and he had a nice house. I didn't meet John Cleese in the line of work ever. I met him once at a dinner party. But I think I got quite drunk, so I can't really remember. Graham Chapman, whom we refer to as the Dead Python, of course. I met him several times, and he lived for a short period quite near where I live now, although not at the same time, if you understand. So I wasn't living there when he was living nearby.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Taxi from Mr. Ross.
It was fun. Was that okay? You can use that?
That'd be good. We'll find something. Thanks very much.
I'm Jonathan Ross, this is the Paramount Comedy Channel, and you're watching the Monty Python Weekend. Our penultimate offering this evening is Eric Idle's hilarious spoof documentary, The Ruttles, which I think must be considered his finest work. Certainly way better than his recent films, which frankly have blown like a White House intern. So prepare for the pre-Fab Four, who paved the way for Spinal Tap, who in turn paved the way for Bad News, who in turn paved my drive. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage, The Ruttles. And now, the end is near. It's time to face the final Python. Yes, we've reached the last offering of this weekend dedicated to the Flying Circus, and for this I'm about to introduce the seemingly impossible, something that is German and funny. Fliegender Circus, the show that the Pythons made especially for German TV in German. The only two social groups on earth who use the word ja for yes are Germans and yuppies. You might want to think about that as you enjoy Monty Python, the Fliegender Circus. Congratulations, you've completed the Monty Python weekend, and I've lost all feeling in my legs. As after any marathon, or as I believe the race has been renamed the Snicker, you should now wrap yourself in aluminium foil and take in plenty of liquid refreshment. I'd like to thank you for your company throughout this time. I look upon you much as John McCarthy must look upon Brian Keenan. I couldn't have done it without you, but I never want to see you again. Good night, everybody.